Hello lovies, and welcome to part 3 of the Sunset Hooded Cowl. And unfortunately my technical difficulty saga continues. Went to upload this video and the first section corrupted, which was me talking about doing the hood square and then folding it, whip stitching the top of it, and starting the first row of the border, which I was talking about how I didn't like how long it was, and the hood was a little bit too small. So what I was saying was that instead of starting with 31 stitches here when we started the hood, I would say probably, and I added 10 more and it still was too small. Well, I wasn't frogging it because I knew that there would be a way to fix it with doing the border and the lapel. So I would suggest in doing the hood, if you haven't started the hood yet, to do at least 51 to 61 single crochets to start. You know, 25 this way, 25 this way, or 30 this way, 30 this way, and then doing your hood rectangle. And I repeated the puff stitch. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 rows of the puff repeat. So what I did was, like I said, whip stitched across the top of the hood, and then I came to the end here, and instead of just starting on the corner, which this is the lapel, this is the very front, I wanted to add a little bit more length. I didn't like where it was hitting, and I was not starting over. That's not what this project's about. So what I did was I started here. This is the back edge. So on that side is the hood. So on the back side we start right here, and you start with just throwing in an entire row of single crochets all the way around to the very opposite side of the back to there. Then what we're going to do, and ensuring that when you do your single crochets that you are on the right side of your work. Then the next row will be you'll flip, and then you'll do the front loop singles, you'll flip and do the back loop singles. Then I think that's where my file corrupted. So to recap before I go into the rest of the parts, make your hood, whip stitch, come to the back edge, single crochets all the way across. And what I also did that I think that got corrupted too, it got deleted, was where the hood meets the lapel. On the single crochet row right here where this lapel meets the hood, I call it the little elbow. I did 2 single crochets together to just kind of pull it that way, and then went on and just, did the back loop, front loops, and just kept going. Okay, so here we go. P.S. I would like to also say that in the very conclusion of the final row of the border, I did finish the second cake. So in order to do the sleeves, in order to do the pockets, I'm having to break into a third big cake. So this project is definitely going to take about 1,300 yards of 4-weight. And this is the Karen Big Cake. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, so here we are just coming up on the hood, and you can see where the hood starts, and there's my little stitch right before. What we want to do is we want to do 2 together here to make this turn. So we do 1 and hold, then go into the next one. This is the very first line of the hood, and hold, and then just pull through all 3 of those, because we want to kind of make that make the little curve. So now we're at the hood. Now go all the way across the top of the hood, and when you get to the other side of the hood, and you get to that same spot, make sure that last one, see if you can see that last one, and then the first one of the front panel, do those two together, and then go all the way down, 3 in your corner, and all the way across. And when we get to the end over here, I'll come back and we'll start the next row. Okay, so I've made it back around. I'm to the very end, that back side again. So we've done a row of single crochet across the bottom of the rectangle. So if it, you know, it's hanging around your neck, this is down near your thigh. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, that should have been, look at what I did. I made a boo-boo. That should have been on the wrong side of the work. And I did not. I was on the wrong side of the work. So this is going to mess up my pattern a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I am just going to fudge it. So now what we normally would have done if I would have been paying attention, and I would have been on the right side of my work when I was doing the single crochets with my right side up, is now I would have turned my work, been on the wrong side to do the front post single crochets like the pattern has been doing from the beginning. But what I'm going to do is, see, this is where we can adjust to fix instead of frog. Fix, not frog. So now, instead of starting my normal pattern with the front loop single crochets, I'm going to start with the back loop single crochets. Easy breezy, no reason to frog. Okay, so here I am across the bottom edge, and I am going to I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet, just like we've been doing through this whole project. So now normally in our pattern, like I said, we would be doing a front post, but because I'm on the right side of the work, I'm going to do that back post. So this row, if you catch this and you actually do your first row of single crochets and you're looking at the wrong side of the work, flip it over and start on the right side of the work, so you can continue to follow the pattern as it is, as I wrote it. So, but here I'm fudging it. I'm just going to make it work because I am not ripping out that 300 and something stitches. See, so now you always know we want that ribbing to be facing the right side. So now I am literally just going to back loop single crochet all the way around. When you get to the corner, in that third chain, the third single crochet, throw in 3 single crochets and then continue back loop, back loop, back loop. When you get to the, what I call the elbow, or where the rectangle joins the hood, just keep going. We don't want to decrease anymore. We don't want to make that turn. Now we want that to even out. So you're going to do that all the way across. Meet you back at the end. Okay, here we go. Now we've gotten, let me flip her over. Now I've got that one row that we changed, and I did a back post, and now I'm going to do my front post, which again, it keeps our little in line with keeping our double paralleled lines on the front side or right side of the work. I don't like to say right side because they're right and left side, so I need to say the front side, so the good side. So here we are again. We're going to go ahead and chain 1 and then single crochet in the first stitch, and then here do our front loop single crochets. Front loop, did I say front post? Front loop single crochet, which we know will make our parallel line across the front. Okay, all the way around. Remember, when you get to this little corner stitch in the third single crochet, put 3 single crochets to make your corner stay pointy. All right, see you on the other side. Alrighty, so now I've made it all the way around doing my front loop, and now I'm on the right side of my work again, and see how we've got our normal little parallel lines that edge, just like we've been doing through this entire pattern. And now we are going to get ready for our shallows, the edge or shallows. We're not going to do puffs because I did started to do puffs, and the space that's in those just didn't look, it didn't give that solidness that I was wanting for the border. So now, to prepare for our shallow front post, back post, we need to do one solid row of double crochets. So just like we did on our regular pattern, we're going to chain one. We're going to put one double crochet in the first, and then double crochet all the way across. And when you get, let me do a couple, so you'll see how that's going to start to build now. When you get to your corners, remember on those, there'll be 2 of them on each side of your rectangle. You're going to want to get to that 3rd single crochet and put 3 doubles. So let me get over to there and then I'll show you. Okay, now here I am coming up to this corner where you can see my 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna approaching, there's the first single crochet, and then in this second single crochet we're going to throw 3 doubles, so we round that corner to keep our corner square. Then there's the 3rd double crochet, and now we've turned our corner, and now we're going up the front side. Okay, so just continue to do your doubles all the way around, and then the only thing you got to remember is to put those 3 doubles in that corner space on the other side. See you on the other end. Okay, so I've made it around with the one row of double crochets, and you can see how this is starting to look like our normal pattern when we first started, the singles and then the front loop, back loop, and then our doubles. And now what we're going to do is we are going to start with our the front loop, or the front loop. It's hot in here. My brain is not braining. We are going to front post, back post, shallow. Okay, so this one, again, it doesn't matter now with whether or not we're front or back. It only matters if we're doing the front loop or back loop. So here I'm on the back side of my work, looking at the wrong side, and we are going to do our shallows. So here we are, do our, just keeping in with the pattern, 1 chain and then a double in the very first. And then now we'll start our front post, back post, shallow. So there's our little, like we've been doing. You should be very familiar with these ones. There's the front. And then here's a back. And I'm not going to keep going on this. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and work at your own pace. And I will meet you back at the other end for, I'm gonna show you. I think I'm gonna end up doing maybe 4 rows instead of 2 of these front post, back post shallows, because I need a little more depth for my hood. But next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try it on. I put a little stitch marker holding my stitch so it doesn't unwind, and then I am going to try it on and then decide if I want to keep going with my shallows. So shallow away. See you back in 2 rows. Okay guys, so I just did the 2 rows and measured it, put it on, and I want to add a little more length. So I'm going to do 2 more rows, so a total of 4 rows of the front post, back post shallows. And just remember, if you want to stop there, and then I'm going to end with 1 row of single crochet, tie it off, sew in your ends, and you're done. But I am going to throw in 2 more rows. I want this a little bit thicker because it was just hitting at my forehead. So I wanted just a little bit more of that hood to come down almost to my eyes. And I just want to make sure to emphasize, when you're doing this right here in the corner, you've got kind of like a corner going. Remember, there's 3 stitches in each of those corners. 3 stitches in each of those corners. So when you come up on your corner, you can see 1, 2, 3. Do your front post, back post, but always make sure to put 3 into that center one. So it makes, you can see how it's making a nice, let me get you on camera, a nice, you know, angle to your corner. Okay, and again, just all the way around, and you can see where it's starting to build up around the hood. Again, I want mine a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go on. So that's the end of part 3. So next week for part 4, the final 4, woohoo, we're going to do pockets. So the pockets are just going to be a little triangle right here. Everybody's pocketed shawl or wrap or scarf or whatever people are calling them are having this pocket go all the way across. I didn't like how that was fitting, so we're just going to do a little triangle with a, well, you know, with a little bit of a, not an exact triangle. We'll have a little bit of an edge here for it to, you know, when your hands in, or if you put anything in your pockets. But we're going to go right in between these two beautiful edges that get there, these two beautiful edges that this has created. So, and we're going to be using the same stitch, so when we put it on here, it's going to match up. So thank you for joining. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put comments in the comment section below. And if you haven't come over, there's only been 2 people that have come over to the Facebook page and join the Creations by Jack group. It's a private group. You answer 2 questions. I just want you to be kind. And what kind of crafts do you like to do? So you'll be able to post your finished project for the giveaway. So hope to see you next Friday. Have a wonderful Father's Day weekend, and thank you for joining. Love to you, lovies. Bye.